Hey everyone, Vintage Vinny here. Welcome to my Memphis thrift haul. So I have been home from Memphis for about a week now. Our trip was scheduled from September 23rd to October 2nd. And the day after I got home, all three of my boxes arrived. Thankfully, 95% of everything that I purchased from that trip survived. I did have a few things, unfortunately, break in transit, so I have to file a UPS claim to compensate what I lost. Thankfully, it was not a lot of items, and thankfully, it was not a lot of money. So that was good. The vast majority of the things that I sent home made it perfectly. So I love hanging with Dee, Tammy, Dave, and Scott. We all have a great time when we gather. If you are new to my channel here, welcome aboard and thank you for tuning in. I like a wide variety of everything when I go out thrifting / antiquing. I mainly sell, I like the old stuff, but I also will pick up beauty products which do very well for me. Mainly perfumes and colognes and skincare, which I have a lot of stuff I got to get listed on. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So I met Tammy, Dave, and Dee back in 2021, and we met in New Jersey up in Scott's neck of the woods. We all got a hotel. We all stayed at the same hotel, and Scott came and picked us up, and we went all around New Jersey and Philly to all the places that he goes to. And then the next year, which was 2022, we got an Airbnb. Tammy, Dave, Dee, and I all got an Airbnb in Philly. And we stayed there for, I want to say it was probably about a week. And then that fall, Dee and I flew down to Texas. And we went to the Round Top Antiques Extravaganza, I think is what it's called. I could be wrong. And then in 2023, last year, we met in Louisville, and we all did thrifting and such there. And then this year, we decided to go to Memphis, Tennessee. We all wanted to pick somewhere that we all had never been to before, and we're curious to see what they had to offer in terms of thrifting and antiquing and such. So, yeah. I got some really cool things. It's not going to be in any particular order. I remember where some things came from, but it's just easier for me to show you everything in droves, I guess you can say. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out what I got, shall we? We found some really cool places, and we got to see some amazing pieces. And we were able to get some really cool stuff, too. So I'm excited to share that with you all. Oh, and we got to meet Eric from Urban Ghost Hunters and his friend Richard, I think was his name, of Phantom Canuck. So that was really exciting. I'm so thrilled we got to meet Eric. He's watched all of us for a long time, and it's just awesome. It was so cool to get to meet him and check out a really cool place. So let's go ahead and check this out, shall we? So these were all in a bundle. It's the same postcard. It says, having a fun time, don't come to the rescue. Almost, I don't know what era this is from, but it looks like 30s maybe, 30s or 40s. Just based on the design and the font of the lettering. So there are several of these. I might try to sell each of these maybe for like $3 a piece, and then keep one for myself because I really like that. We'll see what happens there. This is awesome. This wasn't a frame, but unfortunately the frame was busted. But that doesn't bother me because I just really like the photo. Very 1960s. I don't know who this gentleman is. It looks like Chubby Checker, but it is more than likely not him. I just really liked that go-go looking dancer right here. That's just awesome to me. And this is a legit photograph. It says Les Cooper Commercial Photographers, 336 Hotel Peabody. So this was done at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis. And then it says full view 2 1/8 wide, and about 2 5/8, 110 screen moment, I believe is what that says. But that is just really awesome. I saw that and I was like, I gotta have it. And I think we got this at that estate place where we met Eric. The lady, when she was ringing me up for everything that I wanted, and she was seeing the stuff that I was grabbing, she's like, you really have an eye for stuff. And, that is something that I do hear, from time to time when I'm out shopping. And, I appreciate it because sometimes, I gravitate towards something and, because I really like it. Or it's just really interesting to me and I don't really think twice about grabbing it. It's just, if it's interesting, a great price, unusual, it attracts me. That's just how I am. I'm almost like a magpie. Like, I get attracted to unusual things. I don't want the same thing that everyone else has. Now, of course, sometimes I see something really interesting and I find out later that it's very common, but because I'd never seen it before, it was interesting enough for me to pick it up anyway. So these, I remember, came from a shop that we visited called That 70s Shop. They had everything. It was not just stuff from the 70s. These are movie mirror magazines and just movie picture magazines from the late 30s and early 40s. This is Movie Mirror from, I think, February of 1940, if I'm not mistaken. I apologize, my camera's at an odd angle here. So yes, I think this is February of 1940. And then we have Movie Life from March of, I think, 1938. Love the image of that. I don't know who this is supposed to be. Oh, Fred McMurray and his wife. Mr. and Mrs. Fred McMurray, because they didn't acknowledge the wife's name back then. They just said Mr. and Mrs. husband's name. And then we have October of 1938, Movie Mirror, also with Jeanette MacDonald on it. I love the old movie magazines, and the older ones are getting kind of harder to come by, so I love picking these up when I can find them. This I actually found the second go-around when we went to, I think this place was called Aqua Treasures, and that's the place where we met Urban Ghost Hunters and Phantom Canuck. So what we did is we shopped. Since we all grabbed a lot of stuff, the checkout process was a little tedious. So Dee and I had finished first, and what we did is we went outside of the shop to get out of the way because it was kind of a cramped place, and we wrapped all of our stuff up, and then we went back in and we filmed the place for y'all so you could see what it was that we were looking at when we were sourcing. And then I forgot, there were a few things that I saw and I was like, I'm not really crazy about that. I don't want to ship that home or whatever the case may be, but I spotted this Eldorado menu. It's actually a drink menu, and I loved the graphics of the different drinks that you could get. Look at roast prime beef was $3.50 back in, I don't even know how old this this menu is, but it is really, really cool. So awesome. That looks like a great summer drink. That almost looks like a snow cone. So I think the lady just gave me this for free. I was like, oh, thank you very much, because I love it. This came, I want to say it came from a place called A Moment in Time, which was another antique mall. An antique peddler mall. You know how most malls nowadays are not really picky about what they let their vendors sell, which, depending on who you are, can be a letdown or just doesn't matter. Anyway, so this is called Trilogy Rose Hip Cream Cleanser. I looked this up, thankfully, while I was in the store, and I think I can get about $20 or $25 for this item. It is brand new. We did go into Mississippi one day. I think it was the day that we met Pam, and that was on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And she was just arriving in town, and we decided to go do some antiquing because she said, don't wait up on me. So we hit a few places that were right across the bridge in Mississippi. I found this Coca-Cola thermometer. It's gold. It does say made in the USA. I want to say that this is from the 30s only because, or I could be very wrong about that. I know that Coca-Cola turned 50 in 1936, so I want to say that this is from that era because of the gold, but I could be very, very wrong about that. I'm not an expert. I just kind of go by what I know, and then, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. This is very interesting. I have no idea what it's made of or who made it. Did I take I don't think I took the tag off of here to look on the bottom. But it's got felt on it, so I'm thinking maybe this isn't terribly old. But I really liked him. I thought he would be cute for Halloween. Just a cute little owl. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of this one antique store. I have to look it up again. But it was much bigger than what I had thought. I mean, we all said the same thing. But I spotted this piece for 75% off. It is, I'm really not sure what it is. It's made of pewter. And it's got a really neat looking engraving right here. And yeah, it was 75% off. Oh, it was marked. And forgive me if I'm all over the place with showing y'all things, but that is the marking right there. Maybe I have it upside down. I'm really not sure. But that's what it looks like. Almost looks like it held incense or something. I really don't know. Like I said, it was 75% off $8, which is like $2. So if something is that price and it's interesting and different, I will just pick it up to learn about it later. That's my philosophy anyway. And then I spotted this. This is one of those metal flower frogs. I've never really been able to pick these up because people do ask a lot for them. I was actually able to get this one for only $3. So that I may be able to get $12 to $15 for. We will see, but that's a really cool one, and I know that people like to decorate with these. So I went ahead and grabbed that. And then I found some new old stock, well, I don't know how new old stock, maybe 80s Mickey Mouse pencils. Made in USA by Castell. So they don't have a year on them, and they have a barcode, so they could be 80s, maybe 80s or early 90s. I think I might be able to get about $15 for these. So I was really, really tickled to find those. Alright, so moving right along here. This is really awesome, you guys. This is a Bakelite Telechron clock. I love almost like the steampunk industrial vibe that it gives off. Ooh, that's not focused. I'm so sorry. There we go. That's better. So these are little metal rivets. It's completely Bakelite. This actually came from a salvage shop, and this was not the dealer's tag. A lot of his stuff was not priced, so I had a feeling that this was not how much he was asking for this piece. So I brought it up, and it was a guy and his son who were working there. I think they both owned the shop. And I said, how much is this? He looked at it and he said, oh, I think this was my dad's. I can't believe you found it. So he said, how about $25? So I said, okay. And then I also found a 1964 Better Homes and Gardens book that looked completely unused. I did sell that at our live sale for, I think, like $12, and he gave me that for free, so that was awesome. So that dropped the price down of this to only $13. So I was really pleased with that, and that's one thing that I like about doing the selling of items, are that I can pay up for something, and I have other items that I can sell to help pay off my item that I paid up for. So I will always do that if I can. So I got that awesome clock. It does need to be rewired. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. But I just like the look of clocks because they're just cool. Now this, I think I got at that place called A Moment in Time. This is Dicer Freeze Frame Finishing Spray. That was 50% off. I want to say that this sold for about maybe $20. I can't remember. This domain, I cannot remember. Oh, this came from I forget the name of it. It was like something flea market and antiques. It was definitely not an antique store. It was more of like a flea market-y type place, like indoor yard sale place with different people's booths. This is called Domain Aftershave Balm. It is brand new, never used. And I cannot remember for the life of me what that goes for. I also found this I keep wanting to say new old stock. It's brand new and sealed. This is Salvatore Ferragamo Tuscan Soul Bath and Body Collection. It looks like you get shower gel, body lotion, hair shampoo, and conditioner. It looks like, based on this tag right here, that they got this at a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx years and years ago. So this may be something that Salvatore Ferragamo doesn't make anymore, so I think I definitely looked this up to make sure it was worth what I paid for it. So definitely grabbed that. So this was just hanging on a wall in that Aqua Treasures estate cleanout place. It's a 31 butterfly. I think it's supposed to be like a coin purse or something. So I got that for a really good price. I just grabbed it because at first I thought it was Vera Bradley. And I looked at the tag right here and I was like, that can't be 31. That's not the way that 31 does their stuff. And I find out literally just now that it's from the 31 brand. That's just me in a nutshell. If I didn't put out any videos, or I said I was going to put the videos up, like, how I normally schedule it, I just couldn't. Yesterday, Tuesday, and Monday were my first 2 days back at work, and I had to be there at 7, and I was exhausted by the end of the day. I couldn't get myself to do it. I just needed to lay down. I was so tired. So I apologize for that. But I'm here trying to do the videos now. So I did pick up some beauty products. There was a whole section, like small little section with an open case and purses and just old cosmetic items. This is an Estee Lauder piece. I want to say that it was for perfume or maybe even like something. I'm probably going to have to clean that out. I'm not sure what this held, but it was cool and I thought it would be worth picking up. So I got that. This was in the jewelry. I like mixed in all their estate jewelry. I have no idea who made this, how old it is, but I have a bunny rabbit, pet bunny named Bun. Well, Dusty is her name, but we call her Bun. And I want to say that this is something that you, like, if you wore a blouse or something, you clipped it to, like, the collar of the blouse. I don't see any maker's marks or anything on it. But it was really different, and you guys know I'm attracted to anything with a bunny rabbit on it because of Bun, so had to get that. This is really cool. While it is missing the calendar in it, I just think it's awesome. It's an Art Nouveau. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not showing it to you all very well now, am I? So it's supposed to be like a desk calendar. I'm not sure how old it is, but it is for the... It's called the Seal of the Territory of Alaska, and it's definitely got age because of this lady here. Now, originally, they had this priced at $95, which, of course, I would never spend that much on something like this, but with the, I think they were closing down the shop or something like that, so they gave this to me, I think, for like $18, which, like I said, some of the stuff I did pay up for, but it was totally worth doing. All right, so moving right along. This is awesome. This is I'm probably going to butcher this. It's Benrus watch box. Sometimes the boxes for these old watches do better than the actual watch themselves. And I have one that is really, really cool that I didn't want to sell, but depending on what this does will determine where it goes. Now, this is really interesting. I've heard of Shalimar by Guerlain, but I've never seen soap before. This is Savon de Toilette. Here is the actual container. Let me see if I can grab it without doing anything. So it has never been used, but it does have some issues. The soap itself is kind of dusty and powdery. Here's the container itself. Unfortunately, the holder is cracked, but I still think somebody is going to want this because it's never been used. And it even comes in the original case and the box. So that was definitely different. Some of these items will be available in my eBay store, and some of these items will be going to a live sale. It just depends on what it is and where I'll get the most money for it. So this really cool showgirl doll that I found from 1979 is a Fiona original, probably bought from Vegas. So it says, this authentic showgirl doll is designed and hand-fashioned by a former dancer, showgirl, whose engagements include the Palladium in London, England, the Riverside Hotel in Reno, Nevada, and the Desert Inn Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. For Dawn Arden, also a member of the Les Bluebell Girls and the Lido de Paris show, both in Paris, France, and at the Stardust Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. And unfortunately, her little, the part that's covering her boob has unfortunately come off. I did buy some crazy glue, so I'm going to try to fix that. I want to say that this girl sells for between $45 and $50. And I'm amazed that I was able to get her home safely. But she made it. She doesn't have any other issues. Maybe she's missing a shoe, but honestly, it's such a minute thing. It's not that big of a deal.